everybody. Welcome back to the Gulf Coast Texas High School Football Huddle, brought to you by Citizens Medical Center. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and we have a great show for you this week. As you know, the Huddle is brought to you by Citizens Medical Center. One of the very cool things about the Medical Center is the Healthplex. Citizens Healthplex is Victoria's premier medical fitness and wellness facility. If your goal is to improve your health, prevent disease, help you get strong and fit, or just be well, Citizens Healthplex is for you. In fact, it's for me too. You'll probably see me and my wife there. Their 7,200 square foot facility has everything you need to maximize your enjoyment and get results. They offer all the space, equipment, and classes you'll ever need to get fit and healthy, including a large array of strength and cardio equipment, over 75 classes per week, a degreed and certified fitness staff offering professional instruction. Oh, and if you need to relax, try the steam rooms, whirlpools, dry saunas, and massage therapy. You want to lose weight? Hire one of the personal trainers to work with you one-on-one, and you're sure to see the results you want. Your journey to improved health, fitness, and wellness begins at Citizens Healthplex. All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Mike Foreman from the Victoria Advocate. Mike, well, we didn't get 4 there, but we got 2.
Yeah, we did get 2. We're kind of hoping, Tidehaven came close.
Yes, yeah. In fact, let's do that. Let's talk about the ones that didn't make it first.
Yeah, okay. Tidehaven, that was a close game all the way through.
Yeah.
Then at the end there, towards the end, Woodville broke that 4th down run. And, of course, that proved to be the difference. Mm-hmm. But, considering what Tidehaven was looking at coming into the year, I have to say that's a pretty good season.
Oh, that's an excellent season. A lot of people thought they weren't going to come anywhere near where they ended up.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, I think East Bernard was the favorite to win that district, and then Tidehaven won it. And I mean, they next season. I mean, I think Coach Lucio said they have 8 starters back on offense, or
nice.
8 and 10. I'm not sure which way it goes, but that's almost your whole team back.
That's pretty excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other one, Edna. That was another one that I thought had a pretty good shot.
Oh gosh, I actually covered that game. That was a disaster from the start for Edna. And I mean, let's face it, Columbus is really, really good.
They're amazing. Yeah.
And I don't know if Edna had played its best game if it would have won, but they didn't even give itself a chance. I mean, they didn't give themselves the first play from scrimmage. They get a bad snap to put them at their own 2-yard line, and it seemed like they were continuously, behind the chains, and they just couldn't do anything on offense. And then defensively, they had Columbus, Rigdon had a 70-yard touchdown run where it was like the Red Sea, I mean, it just opened up and nobody touched him. And so, I mean, I think I was looking at, I don't remember what Shovel ended up passing. I think it may have been like 180 yards or something. Mm-hmm. It wasn't as much as I thought. And I would have said that if you had told me before the game that, that was what he was going to have passing, I would have said, well, Edna's got a shot.
Right.
But, no, but, I'll tell you the truth. Before the game, when I was talking to Jimmy Mitchell, he said that for Edna to win, they had to make Columbus one-dimensional. And so they had to take away one or the other, either the running or the passing game. And the fact is they didn't do either. that was it. And I mean, I think Columbus has a good shot to win it all.
Well, I think so too. Columbus is good, and we've said it for the last 3 years. You don't know which end of the team is going to show up, and unfortunately, it was the wrong one.
Yeah, and I think after the game, Jimmy Mitchell was saying even that once that first play happened, boom, it's like almost like he said, they were going like, uh-oh, here we go again. I just don't know. I mean, look, in all reality, Region 3 is stronger than Region 4.
Right.
And in that, in 3A Division 1. But I still, think that Edna, they just have to figure some things out. To where if they're going to get to that point, they've got to figure out how they can perform better. And I'm sure that's what they'll spend a lot of time during the off season doing.
Yeah.
So it's just I mean, you hate to lose at any point, but to lose like that, I mean, I'm sure that didn't leave very good taste in their mouth.
No doubt. So why don't we start with Shiner, because we always been bringing them up last. Let's bring them up first now.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You talk about impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, what they've done. They just have. It's like typical Shiner.
Yeah.
They just get better as the season goes along, and they do it. I mean, they do it the same way every year. They play a really good non-district schedule.
Yeah.
And, they take their lumps sometimes. And then by the end of the season, before the playoff starts, they're usually pretty darn good. And like, we've talked about this before. I mean, those kids have been running that system since they were in 7th grade.
Yeah.
And they know it backwards and forwards, and because they do know it so well, they're able to tweak it a little bit too, to where they can do some different things. And in fact, when I went up there yesterday, my story's going to be they have only 5 seniors, and that's what my story is going to be about. But those 5 seniors, I mean, they've been great leaders, and, they've helped them, kind of grow as a team as the year went on. So, I don't know what's going to happen up at State, because really, I'll be honest with you, I don't know much of anything about Munster.
Right.
But, I do know that, I expect Shiner to play a good game because, I mean, they were definitely tested by Bremond. I mean, Bremond had some speed, and they were pretty physical as well. So, and we could be looking at that again next season because both the teams are young. So, I'm sure both those teams will be back around next year. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think when we saw realignment come out, and Shiner dropped, we thought, they had a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
But there were still some things they had to do to get there, and they've done them.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned Munster. Munster is a very strong program. They've won state titles. They've been there. So the community knows it. The kids, they are not like surprised to be here, and they've had some big wins this year. So I think this is going to be Shiner's toughest battle, obviously, of the year, and it's going to take everything they have to get the victory.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they've had, of course, when the Brooks brothers were there, I don't want to say they were easy games, but they pretty much controlled those 2 games that when the Brooks brothers were there. One of them, of course, I think it was Post. They played post quarterback went out early.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so yeah, I expected, Shiner to face a tough battle. But, they're kind of prepared for it. I mean, that's why you play post and teams like that in non-district. So you get ready for that.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. It's going to be a good one. And are you ready to take your game to the next level? Whether you're an athlete, coach, or just someone striving for more success in life, the Winner's Workshop is your secret weapon. Yes, this award-winning course has transformed thousands of lives, teaching the game-changing principles of sports psychology that Fortune 500 companies, coaches, and top performers all use to win. The Winner's Workshop, subtitled How Sports Psychology Can Make You a Champion, is now available on CoachTube for a fraction of the original $499 price. The Winner's Workshop will help you master focus, mindset, and breakthroughs to make you a champion. Click on the link in the show notes or head over to LoneStarGridiron.com and click on the ad today to unlock your full potential. And now we go to the other game, Ganado. I've been saying the same thing all year. This is the fastest team speed I've seen at this level ever. And I've been covering this a long time. So this is a fast team. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I'm really curious now. I want to see Ganado playing indoors.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. The last couple of weeks, the weather has been kind of a factor.
Mm-hmm.
And their passing game has not been as sharp as it has been.
Right.
And I think that's going to benefit them because, you're playing in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to help Ganado's passing game. And as we've seen in the last, at least in the playoffs, they've gotten their running game going. So that helps. And then defensively, that's kind of the thing that people have not really talked too much about is they've been pretty damn good defensively.
Yeah, that's where I see most of their speed is on the defensive side.
Yeah, so I mean, I know Stanford's going to be a tough opponent because they've been very good defensively as well. Mm-hmm. So, but that's, to me, is I want to see, I think the key for Ganado is, to be able to be multiple, to be able to throw and run, because that's what makes them such a difficult challenge is, you can't just stop their running game or you can't just stop their passing game because they can do both. And, I'm sure Josh Irvin will come up with an interesting game plan because he's done a great job there, as we've seen.
Definitely, and of course you'll be up there, and so we'll be spending some time together in the press box and on the sidelines. And I tell you, it's going to be rocking like it is every year.
Yeah, there's going to be some really good games, and here's something else. I think a lot of people may know or not. I think one of the biggest surprises maybe was North Crowley beating Duncanville. The coach in North Crowley, Ray Gates, he played at Shiner. He played football at Shiner. So, there's another connection right there. So, it should be rocking. Obviously, we wish we could do what you do and watch them all, but
I tell you, as much as I love football, by the time 12 games are over, I am footballed out, but I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, I bet you are, but it's I was thinking I do not remember a time that we have had more than two teams play state. We've had two, but I don't think we've ever had three. Now, so this is kind of interesting, to have two teams up there. It's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. I love the fact that, because everybody argues, DFW controls state championships or Houston controls state championships. But, we're talking the smaller schools here, and the Gulf Coast, it's always up there.
Yeah, we've been lucky. We've had a team up there. We've been pretty consistent. I know up the streak last year, I believe it was last year, the year before was broken, where we had when Cuero went up in 2018, we had a team win from 18 through 21. Yeah. We always had a state champion. That was broken. But we've had pretty consistently, we've had a team at least make it to state.
You're right,
so,
right.
Yeah, I'll still argue that teams down here are at a disadvantage. And although I don't know with maybe, Munster has a ways to go to get to Dallas-Fort Worth area. But, let's face it, Stanford comes from up near Abilene, and that's a heck of a lot closer. So, to me, there's still a built-in advantage for those teams up there.
Right. Yeah, we have that debate every year. I still think the UIL should build a huge stadium in the Austin area, and they should all be held there.
Yeah, that would be nice. Or maybe I'll tell you what, if they could put like a dome on McLean, that would be, there's right in the middle of the state right there. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. And, I'm sure everybody's excited. And I thought it was interesting. One of the things Coach Bedecker was telling his team, because it's so young, is, hey, when we get there, take a minute, look around. And he said, but don't get odd. Just make sure that you look around and then get your focus back on the game.
Yeah.
Because it's an environment that most of these guys don't ever play.
Yeah.
And it's a neat deal, and it's only natural for them to be kind of going, oh, man.
A little starstruck, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You got to have your focus back by the time the game starts.
I love it. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And gosh, we have at least one more. Well, I guess totally. We have one more episode this season of the Gulf Coast Huddle as we wrap up what happens next week.
That's right. Yeah, I've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in Arlington, and be safe on the road up.
Oh, you too, man. Take care.
You're listening to the Lone Star Gridiron Sports Network.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I want to thank Citizens Medical Center for bringing you the Gulf Coast Texas High School Football Huddle. Please take a second to share this show with your friends and family. Like and subscribe on any major podcast platform: iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find the Gulf Coast Texas High School Football Huddle. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and I'm hoping to see you at the game.
Hey, football fans, Christmas is right around the corner. We have the perfect gift for your high school football fan in your life. Friday Night Legends, the board game. With Friday Night Legends, you can play the greatest high school teams of all time against each other based on their real stats. That means you can play the 1989 Odessa Permian Panthers of Friday Night Lights fame against the 2017 Mater Day team and really see who's the better team. Or what about Peyton Manning's Newman High School in New Orleans against Trevor Lawrence's Cartersville, Georgia team? There are thousands of teams in the library from all over the United States. Get your copy of Friday Night Legends at BoardGameLegends.com and be the hero of Christmas morning.